Oh yeah, so I was saying that I was explaining that we were discussing about how the Manjaris are chanting the Mahamantra in times of yoga and viyog, meeting and separation of Radha and Krishna, with the conception that every word of the Mahamantra indicates Krishna. And this is the way that the Raganuga Bhakta chants the Mahamantra for his training or guidance or realization in his practices of his sadhana. And we're just sharing these ideas. So there, outside of the Kali Mandir, I said there's pictures of Krishna killing these different demons, because the Sakhis, when they see that, they get excited. And they feel, oh, I'm going to meet this wonderful hero, my Nayak, my hero, my Priyatam, Krishna. And they get excited that, wow, he's so heroic, he's so strong, he's so brave. I mean, it's inspiring, just like if a man has a very beautiful wife, and when he walks out and she's all decorated and dressed, and he walks out in public, he's proud. He's proud of his wife. She's so beautiful. And everyone's looking at her. He doesn't mind. He knows this is my wife. She loves him. He loves her. So he's proud to have such a beautiful wife. So if you have a beautiful wife and the husband is like zilch, I mean nothing, then then she can't feel so excited. So this is the whole idea of these paintings. So now take it inside the kunj. That's it. I mean, I can get that speaker from the Harinam also, the microphone, you know. India. I have that other speaker, you know. Can you get that? You know, the Harinam one. Yeah, if you can come a little close. Because I'm thinking that then it'll go out on Harinam, then the batteries will go dead on that one, because that's on batteries.
But more at the basement, if it's going to rain, we could go in the basement.
No, I want to get rained on. I'm sorry, I was thinking of this already because we're having some trouble, but we'll try to get some new batteries. At any rate, so when Radha and Krishna are there and the Manjaris are chanting, I think, can you find out where the chowkidar is? He should be on call. Okay, just look outside, make sure the chowkidar is there. Haridas? Look outside, because he should be ready to cover the speakers and everything with plastic, you know. So, we can bear a little water, you know, the speakers can't do. At any rate, so at that time, when Radha and Krishna are together, then he's there. Yeah, just tell him in Hindi that it may rain, he should be ready for the plastic bags, you know. So then they're singing, they're not chanting, they're singing very beautiful, Madhura Kirtan, very sweet and beautiful, and Madhura Madhurya, very sweet and full of Madhurya, conjugal feelings. And then at that time, when they're singing each one of these words, they're meditating, the meaning of each one of these words is that Krishna's the hero, that he's such a gallant lover, that he's so talented. So then they're singing a pastime and they're meditating on a pastime where they're coming together and they're enjoying. And so when Radharani's hearing this and Krishna's hearing this, you see, yeah, that's me, you know. And then Radharani, so that enhances the pleasure of their experience. And then when in separation, which I told you, then Radharani's missing Krishna so much, so then there's a different pastime to bring Krishna to Radharani and now they're meeting, and this goes like this. If you have to chat also to find out, but this is basically the conception behind it. We'd like to write about these things, but it's a little hard. Life is not peaceful. So, a language of feeling. It's a language of feelings. The language between the Radharani and the Gopis and Manjaris is a language of feelings conveyed through hearts, from Radharani to her Sakhi Manjaris. The Sakhi Manjaris feel happiness and distress following the moods of Radharani, which we mentioned here, Atma Sukha Dukkha. He said that their Atmas, that they feel their happiness and distress is related to Radharani. So they feel happiness and distress following the moods of Radharani. Radharani's happy, they're happy. Radharani's distressed. The Sakhis and Manjaris, they act perfectly to expand the love affairs of Radha Govinda. And who have complete faith and trust in their servants. So Radha Govinda, they have complete faith and trust in their servants, their Sakhis and Manjaris. So I think I'll continue that tomorrow. Well, this is one small prayer. I collected this from Jaiva Dharma. It's an example of devotees that are following Raganuga sadhana in Manjari Bhav, and how that sadhaka reveals his heart to his guru, what he's meditating on, what he's feeling, what he's desiring. So he says, "Oh Gurudev," because he's come to his Gurudev. He says, "Oh Gurudev, I want to reveal my mind." There's that verse about Priti Lakshana and Nectar of Instruction. Priti Lakshana, the characteristics of Priti or love. Hindi, Priti, love, prem. It says, Tadati pratigrinati bhunkte bojayate java. Then, Guyam akyati prichati. Guyam akyati prichati. Guyam akyati prichati. Guya means secret, and akya means speak. Akya, upakya, like we say upakya or upakya. So that means to speak secretly or speak confidentially, speak privately with the guru or with any loving friend, devotee, etc. So this is an example of that. O Gurudev, Srimati Radhika is the queen of my heart. My life and soul belong to Radha. My heart melts at the sound of Radha's name. This is a very advanced level of Raganuga Sadhaka. And we say Radha, Radha. My heart melts at the sound of Radharani's name. Words are easy to speak, easy to hear, but difficult to understand the meaning behind it all. Very difficult. Very simple English sentence. My heart melts at the sound of Radha's name. And we say, my heart melts at the sound of Rasgula. Or whatever. It's like, it's just a very simple, basic English sentence with a high, unattainable meaning, at least for myself. My heart melts. It's desirable, but not realizable. My heart melts at the sound of Radha's name. If someone is speaking Hari Katha, but does not mention the glories of Srimati Radharani, I have no attraction to hearing such topics. Even though it's Punya Shravanam. It's Punya Shravanam to hear the topics of Krishna. Hari Katam Ritam Tapta Jivanam. But there's no mention of Radharani in those topics, and I have no interest at all. I no longer identify with my birth. Sarvapadi Vinir Muktam Tatparayan. I no longer identify with my birth or material body or name, because we're so-and-so Smith or whatever from this country, etc. I find great happiness and satisfaction in identifying myself solely as a maidservant of Srimati Radharani, completely dependent on Radha's mercy and compassion. So, of course, that's the Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta means elements, Bhuta. Like we say Panchabhotika, Deha. So Bhuta means elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. This body is made of elements. Bhuta Shuddhi means should, everyone knows. That means pure. It's a method of purifying the elements. So generally, there's the gross elements, and then there's the subtle elements. So in the deity worship, different Archana Padhatis, deity worship books, before one begins puja, he's supposed to transcendentalize his identity at least for half an hour or for 1 hour. Although the rest of the time we're, Russian, German, American, man, woman, etc., whatever we are, so many designations. But that time, I'm supposed to identify that I'm Krishna Das. So the general, on the level of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, the Bhuta Shuddhi is this prayer that emanated from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the beginning of Rath Yatra, as he uttered 4 prayers and then so many other phrases, etc., during the course of Rath Yatra. But one prayer that he uttered was Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatir Napi Vaisho Nishudro Naham Varni Nacha Griha Patir No Vanashto Yatirava Kentu Prodya Nikala Paramananda Purna Britab Der Gopi Vartu Pada Kamalayor Dasana 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 Dasana. I think everyone knows that part of the prayer, that I'm servant of the master of the gopis. I'm a servant of the servant of Gopinath. So Gopinath's servants are gopis. If it's Gopinath, if it's Gopinath, then you're a coward boy. But it says, but Mahaprabhu is in Radhabhav, and he says, Gopi Bartu. Bartu means the Lord, the Master. Gopi Bartu Padakamalayora Das Anudas. So the dasas of Gopinath are actual dasis. So I'm a servant of the dasis. So that's in Vaidhi sadhana, we're supposed to identify as anugatya of the gopis. Now in Raganuga sadhana, you identify and very specifically that I'm such and such Manjari, and this is my identity, and that's described in Narottam Das Thakur's Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Sankalpa Kalpajruma, and Stavavali. Everywhere there's these prayers. Tavevasmi, Najivami Tvayavina Iti Vigaya Raditvam. Or Devi actually wrote Devi. Devi Tvam, Nayamam Charnatikam. He said, I am yours, I am yours. I cannot live without you, O Radharani. Please fix me at your lotus feet as your eternal servant. So in Ragmarg, you very specifically identify yourself with your name, age, form, complexion, dress, seva, jut, what group you're in, your guru's form, and then you do your puja or your smaran or meditation. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita